Okay, good morning, traders. Welcome to a new week. So, this week, as usual, as we usually do, basically what we'll do here is to look at the chart, break down the chart, look at the weekly bias and possible trade setup. So, please, if you can hear me loud and clear, please let me know in the comment section. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the comment section. And if my chart is visible, you can see my chart. Let me also know in the comment section, please. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, that means we can proceed now. Okay. All right. So first, this month we'll be looking at BTC USDT, BTC USDT. So let's look at BTC. Looking from the daily time frame and get to cover a lot. Okay. Okay, so here we are on the daily time frame. Here we are on the daily time frame, and what can we see on the daily time frame? First, we can see that what this was where we had we had a break of structure here at this point. We had this last break of structure at this point on the daily time frame. And what was responsible for this break of structure? We have this demand zone. This is the demand zone on the what? On the daily time frame that was responsible for this break of structure to the upside. And as you can see, price is currently was reacting from this daily demand zone. So let's go down to the 4 hours to actually see if we can get a possible trade set up on BTC. So here we are on the 4 hours. This is what the 4 hours chart look like. So on the 4 hours, if we want to refine this chart, this is what we're supposed to have, something like this. And this is supposed to be our what? Our inducement. This point. But price is currently was reacting from that zone. Price is currently reacting from that zone. But nevertheless, let's see what we have to look on the 4 hours. So 4 hours will be marking out the major lows and highs. Major lows and highs. So this live stream doesn't exceed 1 hour. So looking at the major lows and highs on 4 hours, this was a major what? A major break to the downside at this point. We had what? Market sweep. That was the market sweep, and this was where we had a break to the downside on the 4 hours at this point. We had a major break. And looking at the 4 hours, where is the major supply we should be looking at for? This was a major supply. Those on the Telegram channel, this trade was also called out there. This was the major supply we actually took our trade from. We've been taken out from this trade on break even. So looking at the 4 hours, what can we see? Where is the last order block we should be looking at for price to actually come back into? First, as you can see, this price is currently sitting at a supply zone. on the 4 hours. This price is currently sitting at a supply zone, which tells you that what, and we actually took a trade from this point, and price has returned back to this point, meaning we can't actually take any trade again until we get a confirmation. What is the confirmation we are looking at for? What is the confirmation we are looking at for? We want to actually see price take out this high or take out this low. If price takes out this low on the 1 hour time frame, then we'll look for more reason to actually what, to actually sell. And if price takes out this point, we'll look for more bullish sentiment to actually what, rise this price to upside. Now look at this price closely. If we want to look at the internal price movement, this was where we had the last low and we had what, a sweep at this point. After having that sweep, what can you see? We had what, a break of structure at this point here. After having that break of structure, where do we have any significant movement again? At this point, we have another what, break of structure at this point, and another major break at what, at this point here again to the upside. And what can we see? This is the last break of structure we have up here. Now let's step down to 1 hour to actually see what the 1 hour is telling us. First, we already have our trading range, which is what, this supply zone down to what, down to this low here. That's our trading range. So let's get to market so that we'll look for possible trade setup for this week from this trading range that we have here. So coming down to the 1 hour, what can we see? So here on the 1 hour, this was like, this is the last break of structure we had to the upside, and there was what, a demand level here. There was a demand level here. But when I actually did this analysis as of last week that I dropped a trade on the Telegram community, for those that are not in the Telegram community, I will drop Telegram channel comment section pin so you can actually join and get to take our trades in the community there. So we actually took this trade from this point, and our take profit was below this relative equal lows. We are looking to what, take out all of this liquidity, but price responded from what, this zone. Price responded from this zone. So what happened? This price came down, gave us what, some sort of what, inducement at this point, which gave this order block a validation, making it what, a valid order block. For those that don't understand what I mean by inducement, I dropped a video on inducement that was on Saturday. They can check it out so I get to actually understand the concept of inducement. And within the night, I wasn't up to actually monitor this trade because I had a stressful day yesterday. But what, waking up immediately I woke up, I saw the trade responding to the upside. I dropped on the comment. I was like, everybody should close the trade. But as I was up, maybe we'll have possibly closed this trade with maybe a 1:1, but it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. We still move. So currently looking at this BTC now, price is currently responding from this order block, and we want to actually see this price push above this point to give us maybe another break, because sorry, want to see price push and give us a break above this point, which will validate what, this order block here. That's what will validate this order block. And we want to see what inducement being created at this point. There should be some level of what, maybe price coming down, maybe something like this, and tap in. Then we want to continue the price to the upside. But if that doesn't happen, we'll actually want to see this low take out. We want to have what, a change of character at this point, and that will validate supply zone that I'll be giving here for us to actually what, take this sell all the way to the downside. So if we have a break here, then we'll be looking to actually buy from here. But if here fails to break properly, or okay, the first scenario is if this breaks, we want to see inducement form for this other block. If there's no inducement, we are not taking the buy. We are not taking the buy. And if this takes out this point, we want to see the market give us some inducement or buildup of liquidity to validate this point as what a supply zone. I don't know if it's taking. If you understand what I'm trying to explain, please let me know in the comment section, please. If you understand what I'm trying to explain, for us to actually take the buy or the sell on BTC, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so for now, we don't have anything to actually do on BTC. All we have to do is what? All fingers crossed, waiting for this point to actually what? Break properly to the upside. Here to break properly to the upside, which this other block will now be what? A valid point to actually look at for buys from. So what we'll now be looking for, we want to see what this low taking out. If we want to look at for a sell, we want to look at for a sell, we want to see this low being taken out. I think that is copied. So we'll be looking at the next pair. We'll be looking at gold. We're looking at gold, and I think today we'll be looking at one crypto pair, one currency pair, one crypto pair, one currency pair, so that we can actually what get to balance a lot of things. Okay, so here on gold has been very, very bullish. Gold has been very, very bullish for the longest, creating all-time highs day in, day out. So from current price on gold, you can see that all we can see on this price chart is what? Gold is what? Bullish. Gold is bullish. And let's step down to 4 hours. Let's step down to the 4 hours. Okay, so here we are on the 4 hours. What can we see? What can we see on the 4 hours? Okay, so on the 4 hours, we had this break of structure to the upside, had another break to this point, have this other break to upside. And what can we see? This is our last demand zone, last order block. So let's refine this chart to the 1 hour to actually get a proper understanding of what price is actually telling us on the 1 hour. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour price action on gold, looking at the 1 hour price action on gold, what can you see? At this point, this was what we had another break of structure on the 1 hour. For this other break of structure, having this break of structure, where was our last low? This was our last low at this point. And what did you see? What did you see? There was a liquidity what? Grab. There was a liquidity grab at this point. Market tapped into this zone and what? Immediately reacted to the upside. After price tapped into this zone, what did you see? After price reacted to the upside, price gave us what? A change of character at this point. Had what? A change of character. That place where we had the liquidity sweep, that was where we had our change of character. Having this change of character, this tells you that what? There's a supply zone here. If you refer this chart maybe a smaller time frame, maybe you have a supply zone. But on the 1 hour, we don't take our trade where we don't see momentum and fair value gap. There was what momentum, but there was no fair value gap. We had an inducement at this point, but there was no fair value gap to actually. But the trade still came into this supply to actually continue to the downside. So what was our bias on gold now? Looking at this one, we have another word break of structure at this point. There's another break of structure here, and we have this current zone we want to actually take our trade from. This is where we want to see this whole price come back into actually what give us a buy entry. This is what our inducement sitting here. This is our inducement. And why are we actually taking our trade from this zone? Why? You can see we have a nice push to the upside, which shows you that what there is momentum sitting within this zone. There's momentum sitting within this zone. What can you also find within this zone? You can also find what? A fair value gap on this zone, which also tells you that what price has to come back to fill this fair value gap. So price coming back to take out this inducement and filling in this fair value gap, that's what validates what this order block. But also actually what take this trade from. I don't know if you understand. So what we'll be looking at for on gold is for actually what for price to come back, take out this inducement, then what we'll refine our chart to maybe 30 minutes or 15 minutes. So we want to see something like this. Price come back, tap into this zone, then comes back to give us what a change of character at this point on the smaller time frame. That's for those that don't like aggressive entry. Price give us what a change of character, come back into to tap our other block, then we should be able to at least secure the first take profit here. If your 1:3 is not up to that point, or more than, you can decide to maybe 1:3 should be within this range or something. But let me just mark this out. We have all of this descending lows. That's liquidity we have to take out. So this is what we should be looking out for. So let me get to put the buy order position. So possibly this is what we should be looking at for on gold. So this 1:3 is okay. So with 1:3, this is what we have as 1:3, and this is a realistic take profit. This is a very realistic take profit, and you know what I always preach: don't set unrealistic take profits. It's better you actually would take 1:3 and leave the market than you trying to target 1:10, because a lot of times market actually giving 1:10, it's kind of like very unrealistic. And except maybe you're trading from a smaller time frame. Based on I trade personally from a 1 hour time frame, I'm okay, and I'm very okay trading 1:3. So I feel like 1:3 is very realistic, and it's something you should actually what look at for. So this is it. This is it. So we'll be looking at what Solana. We're looking at Solana now. Let's look at Solana or the crypto traders. As I earlier said, we'll be looking at one crypto pair and one forex pair. So what can we see on the Solana market? I think the market is bullish. Let's look at the daily time frame. Wow. Wow. Let's look to the left to actually see what is happening. No wonder. Okay. So looking at the Solana price action on the daily, we can see that what the market is trying to pull all the way to is like a target for Solana, except otherwise. Market is bullish. Market is bullish, and market is trying to target to the upside. So without wasting much time, let's just go straight to 1 hour to actually what understand the current price action. So we'll understand if we have any possible trade we should be looking at for. So looking at the 1 hour current price action, from the 1 hour current price action, what can you see? First, this was what the last break of structure you had to the upside. I believe my screen is visible, and if you can't see my screen properly, please do click on the setting icon on your screen and what select what best quality. Best quality. That will give you a better resolution and clear view of the chart, or you either what you rotate your phone to have a better resolution. Okay, so after having this last break of structure, what do you have? This is what a liquidity, which tells you that what this is what an inducement. This is what an inducement at that point. So where are we looking to actually what take our trade from? Where are we actually looking at to take our trade from? This is what the last order block we have that we actually want to see a what price. This price should be able to take out this inducement, give us something like this, come back into this zone, and price should be able to continue to the upside. So this is like something you actually have to wait for, because it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but who knows? But this is like our bias on Solana. So we actually want to see this price drop all the way down here. But you can actually see something. You can actually see something different. And most times when you have liquidity sitting like this, most times when you have liquidity sitting like this, a lot of times the price will not actually come back to the zone. That's it. That's one thing traders don't really understand. So now possibly you can have something like price come back into this point, take out this liquidity, and what price will continue to the upside. See, it's normal. It's normal. It's not something you would think is price must actually come back to your zone. A lot of times, price will not even get to your zone, and the price will continue doing its thing. Like that's why they say the market knows it all. You don't need to. And if this price doesn't get back to our zone, you don't have to panic. You don't have to feel like you're not doing enough. You're not a good trader. So come on. So just be open to whatever the market presents. Think last week we were able to get only, I'm not mistaken, just one trade that will close at break even, and we opened BTC over the weekend, and I wasn't actually able to actually manage that trade. Like I wasn't available to manage it, and we're also closing with another break even another Monday. Meaning what last week we didn't actually make a lot of money, and this week the money we made we still gave it back to the market at break even. So last week and last week, let me not say this week because this week have not ended, but last week we didn't make anything tangible enough. For those that personally take just my signal, so we didn't actually make, except people that took the trade we called during the live section, because last week GBP JPY we called, that trade played out. It was a 1:3 trade, and it was a clean setup. So at least those that actually took all the trades we called during the live section, I think they actually made a lot of money. Okay, let's look at Euro USD. Those that actually traded Euro USD last week, yeah, you guys should actually make a lot of money too, because we called a sell on that particular pair. Yeah, we called a sell, and let's look at that trade. Let's look at the trade. Okay, so from the last week analysis, we had what a supply zone, had a supply zones here. This was a supply zone, and I strictly instructed that whatever you're trading your SL should be above this. Now a lot of times some people make this mistake of what, because you have your order block here and now put your SL just little bit above or below your order block. No, it's wrong, because if you look at this entire zone you're seeing, this entire zone you're seeing here, this entire accumulation you're seeing here, that's the order block. If you don't know it today. This entire zone you're seeing here is your order block. But now, due to refinement, we are trying to look at where is the most precise order block. And that's how we come to refine it to this point. But if you go to the daily, you see that what you have here is this entire zone as your order block. That's it. This is what you have as your order block, as this entire zone. But due to refinement, that's why you're having this point as the zone that is what your order block. Now, so last week we actually stated that all of what we have here to this point is what are inducement. What we have here is what are inducement, and you shouldn't try looking for what any trade entry within this zone, any trade entry within this zone. Well, that is a mistake a lot of persons make when they get to see maybe and well maybe possibly other block before the main other block. You want to actually what a point, and you will not be induced into the market. So stated that this is the major zone you should be looking at for price to actually come back into, and we want to see this price continue to the downside. So let's go down to the 1 hour to actually see it. Stable week for those that traded the trade setup for last week on Euro USD. Exactly what I was explaining. Did you see? Price tapped into this point and what reacted to the downside. And what did you see? It still came back up. Meaning, if your SL was above this point a little bit, must be taken out. You must definitely be taken out. That's why you have to always consider your liquidity in front of your zones or above your zones or below your zones while setting your stop loss. It's very, very important. So, okay, looking at the current price on EUP, Euro USD has actually tapped into what? A major supply. And looking at this supply zone that Euro USD has tapped into, let's see if we have a change of character. So at this point, we have what? Have a major change of character on the 1 hour time frame. This is on the 1 hour time frame. And what do we have? We have what? This inducement here, sitting here. Our market has actually cleared this inducement. So possibly, what are you expecting on EU? What do you think we should be looking at for on EU? Personally, this point has all been mitigated. This point has all been mitigated. If you understand order block properly, you know that all of these points has been mitigated. So there is no other block to actually what take a trade from, except you just want to do something like this. You want to maybe this and expect this price to tap into this point, tap into this and continue to the downside. But personally, looking at this is what liquidity for me. I don't trade from a zone without what momentum or a zone without fair value gap. And that's why if you look at all of my setup, you will see all of those confluences intact. If my confluences are not complete, you won't see me taking a trade. That is how I trade. My confluences are not intact. You won't see me trying to click my buy button or sell button. So personally, looking at this trade, all I see here is what? See, I believe if you've actually joined our live section, even if it's just twice, actually analyzing the chart will not actually be a big problem for you. You won't be in a haste to actually looking forward. You want to click buy, you want to click sell. You will want your trade actually come to you at the right time. And I think one thing that I've actually enjoyed about each of this live section daily is what at least always get a clear trade 1:3. I don't think there's anybody that's been consistent showing up for all of our live section and takes all our trades recording the live section. I would say that he or she has not been profitable. It's not possible. Although I don't trade all of the trades I call, I trade only 3 major pairs to market. That's because what I want to have time to actually focus on other things. Okay, so this is like a liquidity for me. If I see this price come back, I want to see price take out this point. I actually want to see price take out this point. And you can see we don't have any reason for us to actually what look out for sell, except your own strategy permits you to actually what take a sell from this type of supply. There is nothing to actually trade from it. There's no fair value gap. There's no reason for you to actually take a sell. If you actually want to look for a sell, allow the price to either come back to this point, either break above, then we'll look for a buy, or the price should be able to come back and maybe take out a low within this point where the market will give us a reaction and what you have a clear change of character again for the second time, and you will get to look for reasons to sell. Sorry, change of character can also be on the upside instead of the downside. Most of the times, it is what you mean. Yeah, change of character can be on any side. And what is change of character? Change of character tells you or shows that what there's a price reversal. That's simply what's change of. Okay, let me just explain that. I think the video is already on the channel. You can also check it out. Okay, let's say something like this. The market was bullish to the upside, like this. Now you're expecting price to come back here and continue to the upside, but price takes out this low. Now price takes out this low. What you now have here is what a change of character. What was a change of character? Telling you that what price has reversed. Now price is no longer bullish. What you're looking at for now is what this price should be able to come back to this supply that causes change of character and what you continue to the downside. That's what change of character is all about. And still the same thing if you turn this diagram in the opposite direction. That's simply what change of character is all about. Now, for you to actually take this price going back into this change of character, basically the way I trade change of character or my break of structure, I don't take trade immediately it comes back to my change of character. No. I want to see some level of liquidity, engineer liquidity build up, or what? At least market should give me an inducement. Without an inducement, this point is what invalid for me. If I don't have some sort of inducement before this zone, then I won't take this point. That's basically how I trade. And that is why you don't see me jumping into trade and jumping out of trade. My trade comes with what? Clear decision, like clear decision making. So that's it. So change of character can either be to the upside or to the downside favor. Can actually be to the downside or to upside. Now let's look at USD JPY and GBP JPY, the major pairs which I trade personally. And I think going to 3 weeks now, I've not actually traded anything on currency pair. It's just been on BTC, BTC. Ah, it's been crazy. I think there is not much to actually explain on this chart. Let me just go straight to the current chart we explained as of last week. Current chart we explained, sorry, as of last week, and what we are still expecting. The buyer still holds. The buyer still holds, so there is nothing much to actually what explain. Please, if you've not liked this live currently ongoing, please do where to hit the like button. And if you're a new subscriber, sorry, if you're a new comer or first time here on this channel, please do where to subscribe to the channel. Please do where to hit the subscribe button. And for those that are not on the Telegram channel, let me paste that now in the comment section. Let me paste that in the comment section now. Okay, so the current chart we're looking at now is on USD JPY. So let me pin this in the description. Okay, so if you check the comment section, I just pinned the free Telegram channel there, so you can actually join and get to take all of our trades. Our trades are top notch, A plus. Don't trade anything less than A plus, and always there to actually give the next step on the setup, dropped, and everything. So feel free to join and always stay active, because one thing that can actually I think the only disadvantage of taking Signal is if you are not active, miss a lot. If you are not active, if your data is not always turned on to always what is happening in the community, then you actually miss a lot of instruction or follow up on our calls. Okay, so looking at USD JPY on the 1 hour, we have this demand zone which has not been tested on the 1 hour, and we have our fair value gap sitting before this demand zone. All of what we have here is what our liquidity. Price came back into this zone, mitigated this 1 hour order block at this point, and what you see the price reacting to the upside again. At this point, we have this inducement. We have this inducement, and what can we see on the 1 hour? What can we see? What can we see on the 1 hour chart? Sorry. So on the 1 hour chart, looking at that point, we already have this demand zone we have here. this demand zone, and you can see our buy setup. For those that are just joining, and maybe they didn't look at the this thing, this is the parameters for the trade. These are entry. We have our what our take profit and what our stop loss. The trade was already shared to the Telegram. So if you join the Telegram community, see the trade already shared on the channel there. So it's still a valid trade. What are we still looking for? We want to see this inducement being taken out. This inducement to be taken out, and what price should come back to this point, because all we have here is what liquidity. All you have here is liquidity. So actually want to see this price come back, and this is a 1:3. But if actually I want to look at where I'll take profit on this trade, I should be looking at this. This is possibly what I should be looking at for. And if I'm to look at for this is a 1:7. This is a 1:7. Why am I targeting this 1:7? If I'm to take this trade, the limit is already set. Like not set. The limit has been there on my MT5 since last week, but the market refused to tap us in, and we are still waiting patiently. Patiently, we are still waiting. In this or on this channel and in our community, our Telegram community, we don't rush. We don't rush. We take our trades slow and steady. We are very, very calm. We are very, very patient. There is no point rushing. So we have this liquidity sitting here, this relative equal what? Equal highs, or this descending what? Descending uh lows. This descending highs coming down. So we want to actually see all of this liquidity being taken out. What this price should be able to tap into this zone and continue to the upside. Now, if you actually want to, if you're a swing trader and you feel you can actually what, you can actually cover up for all of this setup. This is supposed to be like something we should be expecting. If USD JPY is able to hold this zone, like if this zone is able to hold USD JPY, should be able to see price all the way to this. But this is where we have like major supply. I actually want to see this, something like this. But 1:3 is a very good one for me. 1:3 is actually a good one for me. 1:3 is actually a good one for me. So let's let's return this to a 1:3 bias. So that is it. I actually want to see this 1:3. 1:3 I'm very, very okay with. I'm actually okay with the trade. But if I see reasons to actually ride the trade to 1:7, I'll be moving my break even in accordance to that. So let's look at GBP JPY. Okay, so looking at GBP JPY from the last week trade we actually took. So those that joined the last week live section and actually placed this trade as instructed during the live section, you see, because a clear 1:3 trade. This trade was called during the live section, the last live section we had on Monday last week. They can actually see that what straight to take profit, easy piece. And how were we able to arrive at this trade? If you watch the video I dropped on Saturday, you'll be able to understand using simple word inducement and what liquidity in this, and you can see it was a clear trade, sweet one. So now taking out all of these charts, let's look at for possible trade entry for this week. Possible trade entry for this week. So what can we see on 1 hour time frame? Sorry, let's check the 4 hours, because from the 1 hour all I'm seeing is chubby move. There is no clear price direction. It's crazy. Okay, so looking at the 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, what can we see on the 4 hours? This chart is oh god. Okay, so looking at the 4 hours, there is nothing to actually trade from this. There is no trade setup, because if you look at the 4 hours, we have this liquidity sitting here. We have this liquidity sitting here, and as you all know, I don't trade from a mitigated order block 2 times. This was like the last order block, and it's no longer valid. This order block is no longer this order block is no longer valid. So there is no reason to actually look out for buys on GBP JPY. So looking at these 4 hours, what can we see? All we have above is what we have liquidity. We have liquidity. So this is like, let me mark the trading range. So let's see if we can get something 1 hour. But since the 4 hours is already giving us what a chubby movement, then we have to stay clear of GBP JPY. Don't the best thing you can do to yourself as a trader or do for yourself as a trader is what not always being in list, click buy or sell. See, best thing you can do for yourself as a trader, avoid it. My sincere opinion, avoid it. There is no point seeing an accumulating market like this, market that is consolidating, and you want to there's nothing for you to click. For those that have been actually following up all of these words, all of these live sections since we've started, you see that what we don't rush our trades. If it's not there, it's not there. There is no point trying to force what is not there. There is no point coming to force something that is not there. There is no point. Just take it easy on yourself. Okay, so looking at this now, we don't have any trade entry within this range on 4 hours. So let's step down to the 1 hour to see if we'll have something on this chart. Okay, looking at this chart here, let me take this out. Get to actually look at the overall market trend at this point here. If you see, this was where we had the word external word this high that was taken out, and where do you have the last break of structure at this point? Now, where is the other block? This is the other block. This is the other block. On 1 hour, we have this fair value gap. There's a momentum here, but this trade is very, very scary. This trade is, you have to be very, very careful. Like, you have to be very, very careful in this particular trade. And if we must take this trade, I will actually want us to have what entry confirmation, please. Where you have something like this, so I want to see something like this. Price tap into it, price come back, take out that high, then what? But anything below this point, market is selling. Now, why is the market going to sell? If you look at this chart, as we earlier expected, for price to actually what sweep out all of this liquidity, all you have here is what trendline liquidity. And having a trendline liquidity, you have to be very, very careful because what if price decides to break below this point, then what we'll have to sell all the way to clear this liquidity low here at this sitting at this point. So for now, what's my bias? I want to see markets come back to give us what entry confirmation on the smaller time frame at this point. I want to see the price give us what entry confirmation on the smaller time frame on the smaller time, and having entry confirmation on the smaller time frame, I think that will actually give us a better trade bias for GBP JPY. So what are we going to be looking at for on GBP JPY? Let's say if we are going in with aggressive entry, already I have this as my inducement. This is what my inducement at this point. I already have that as my inducement. I want to actually see this price come back here. Let's see. Let's look at this and price using, let's say, 29 pips as what. These are first take profit. Our first take profit is 1:2. It's very, very okay. Using 1:2 is very, very okay. And you have to target, if you're targeting 1:3, you're targeting 1:3, this is a 1:3. But I like going with realistic take profit. First, I want to see what happens at 1:2. And looking at this setup, this is a good setup. This is a good setup on the 1 hour. If this man zone holds, but if this fails, then what? It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to write home about. So let's look at the entry at this point. So looking at this setup, our entry Price is at 199 199.878. Then what? The stop loss. When you're taking any trade, always put your stop loss first before take profit, please. Always put your stop loss before take profit. So looking at the stop loss is at 199.585. Then our take profit for a 1:2 is 200.475. Now, for those that don't actually know how to calculate entry this in on BJPY, now it's very very simple. Now let me just give you people a simple way I use in calculating GBP JPY. So now on this GBP JPY, on every 10 movements you measure on GBP JPY, if you're using a zero point 0.1 lot size, a 0.1 lot size, a zero point 0.1 lot size will give you. Let me see. Let me draw something like this. Let's look at this. All of this will actually be explained in our class. So a 10 pips move on. Sorry, JPY pairs. All the JPY pairs is equal to $7. $7 using 0.1. Okay. So for this part we have here we have 29 pips, or let's say 29.3. So when you have 29.3 like this is very very simple. What you just have to do is maybe if you're using a 0.1, you know that okay, 0.1 for every 10 pips movement on JPY pairs, you are losing $7. So if you're using 0.1, that means you have to do uh um where I do it is I do I do $7 times 3. If I was actually using a 30 pips, but actually using a 30 pips, that would have been 7 times 3. So 7 times 3, I have 21. So that means if I use a zero point 0.1 on this trade, I'll be losing what? I'll be losing $21. I'll be losing $21. So how do I get to do it in a very perfect way? Now, I don't know what you want to lose. I don't know what you want to lose. But the way I do it personally is, let me say something like, if I'm using a $50 now on this trade, I'll just do something like 50 divided by 21. It will not give me the exact lot size I will use on this pair. If you don't understand this, then do where to what? Leave a comment in the comment section. I will send you the free class WhatsApp link so that you get to join. All of these things will actually be explained in the Forex class coming up next month. So a lot of values to be given out, a lot of value, all for free, all for free. And people that actually know me knows that what the class is totally free. I think a lot of persons have been having this misconception of, Godson, you're going to introduce the basics, and after that you will now maybe ask us to pay money. I don't need your money, please. I'm not charging anybody for class for this year, like for this year ending. And I've already told myself to actually be something I'll be doing every end of year, as a way of like telling God thank you for a successful year, a kind of like giving back to the society. I'll be doing that every year, and I hope I'm able to continue with this particular step I'm about to begin, starting with this year. Personally, I do this on my birthdays. Like every birthday for the past 2 to 3 years now. On every birthday, I give out what? Free mentorship. I give it out to someone. At least like 3 person gets a free class from me on all my birthdays, or at least let's say two. That's how I do. But this time I've decided to at least extend it to at least ending the year empowering what other young and upcoming traders are willing to actually what get this skill, but maybe they don't have the money to pay, or they don't have someone they can actually talk to, or someone they feel can actually teach them better. And I'm here, and I've already what giving out myself, my community, and my team to actually what let's see how we can empower at least 500 to 1,000 traders. 500 to 1,000 traders. So if you know you need this, please do well to leave a comment in the comment section, and any of my team members that live on this channel, they will actually will send you the WhatsApp link or I will also do that. Maybe after the live, I will also send it to you. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. It's going to be like one of the biggest Forex classes that it's going to be like for free. Like for free. A beginner to advanced. So please make sure you take this opportunity. Don't miss it for anything. All right. So over to the charts. Let's look at NZD USD. I think we also called that NZD USD last week. NZD last week. Called that USD card. USD card actually gave for those that actually will take our trades very very seriously. See that my USD card actually print a lot of money for them. And that's how I always tell you, don't miss out live sections on Monday. Like on no account, don't miss it because get a lot of free setup, like a lot of free setup. Okay, you're interested in the class. Okay, sorry. Let me send it. Let me check my WhatsApp and send you the link now. A minute. Okay, I think I will pin. Let me pin that. Let me pin that in the. Let me pin that. Okay, so I've replaced Telegram channel with the WhatsApp link for those that are interested in the class. That's the WhatsApp community. So join that WhatsApp community and you'll be asked to complete a simple task every weekend. It's not money and it's not anything. It's just for you to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and group. That's just the tax. It's not like we're asking you to do anything. You just have to subscribe to the YouTube channel and any of my team member on duty will actually have to verify you. The one on duty, I also have to verify you. Anybody, so you just join the Telegram group and by Friday, we do the verification Friday to Sunday. So by Friday, any of my team admin that is online, the person will have to address and you send their screenshot to the person and you'll be moved to the main group. It's on the main group on that main group, that's why we are hosting the class. That's why we're giving out the time, date, everything you need to know, and the gifts during the live sections. Is only those on the community, like only those on that main group. Those are the only people eligible for any of the giveaway, any of the cash reward on during the live section. Because every live section, every classes will be giving out at least something to actually would support those are actually very very consistent. Those are actively participating, questions and answers. So you're not on that main group. Nothing for you. Nothing for you. It's actually like a way trying to actually what give back to the society, and that is the main goal for this particular program we are doing. Okay, so let's look at NZD USD, and I think wrap it up this. And last week we actually called a sell for NZD USD. Let's see if that actually played out. So this was our supply zone on the 4 hours, and what we're really looking at. If you see this part, this was where we had the major break to the downside, major break to the downside. I need it. Thank you, boss. The WhatsApp link is pinned. The WhatsApp link is pinned. The wealthy space. WhatsApp link is pinned. So where to join and just follow up with the instruction on it. That's just it. It's simple. You're not being asked. And if anybody should DM you that you should pay any money or anything, please, not even 10 naira. We're not collecting anything from anybody. It's totally free. Even when you join the group, you'll see. I also still post it there. If any admin or anybody should DM you on behalf of me or any of my team member that they need $1, it's a lie, you. It's not coming from me, please, and it's not coming from my community or my team. I not ask you for money, and we are not asking you for money. Please. It's totally free. It's totally free. Okay, so this was what an inducement here. we had this level as our inducement, and what did you see? Price tapped to this zone, and what we are looking at for what? A sell. And for those that actually took the sell while we are live that day, if you're able to make something, as much as the price has not actually what tangible. At this point, what are we looking at for? This is what this liquidity here has to be taken out. This liquidity has to be taken out. That's number one. And if this liquidity is taken out, then we will have more reasons to actually what sell. Now I can see something here on the 1 hour. I'm seeing this other block here. I can see this other block sitting pretty at this level. This other block is sitting here. So what will I want to see? If this other block will hold, I want to actually get a price confirmation. But if this price continues to the upside, then I will look for more reason to take a buy. But at this point, this is not my other block. This is what my what inducement sitting at this level. This is what inducement sitting at this level. You have to actually understand that not all break or structures, like because you had a break or structure here, it means what this is what a valid other block. No, but a lot of times, the market is always right. So you can have something like this. You see something like price will come back like this. Maybe sweep this liquidity and what push to the upside. It's possible, but it's always better. You should have all of your confluences in place. And the way I take my trade, this exact way I'll be teaching everything. The way I do my thing, the way I'll be teaching in the free class that is coming up. So get ready, and if you know someone that might need or this class will be of help to, please do well to share the WhatsApp or the flyer to the person. It's very, very important. Let's see how many persons we can be able to help with this free class. Because what the truth is, a lot of persons are interested in trading, a lot of persons are out there wanting to trade, but how many of them have good knowledge on trading? Personally, I've lost a lot. And what is from my experience, I've been able to at least be able to build around all of these confluences. And I can tell you that Omo, sincerely speaking, it has been a game changer. That's it. You can't win by luck. You can't win by gambling. You win a day, also lose everything back. So if it comes to losses, I've actually suffered a lot of it. I've lost a lot of money. And that's why when I see beginner traders coming up and you feel you can do it magically, it's a lie. You will make profit, you will lose it. So please do well to share this WhatsApp link with your friends, family, schoolmates, colleagues at work, and everybody you feel this can actually help. It's free. It's free. And whoever thinks that the class is not free, person should join and at least okay stay for like the first 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe let me say 1 month, because the class is going for the class will be on for 3 months. So stay for at least, let's say, 1 month and see if you'll be asked for a penny. It's free. If I actually wanted the class to be a paid class, I would have structured it from the start. I'm not interested in the money here. I'm interested in what? Helping other traders, helping other people become successful. It may sound crazy because people feel like people cannot give out what gives them money for free. There's a lot of money in the market. There's a lot. If you like, let me say okay, I'm making let me say $10 daily and you're making $1,000. The broker have a lot of money to still pay you. Rather you're making. So you making more than me or me making more than you doesn't stop anybody from. I share this trade now and I'm like, if this trade come to this part and all of us on this live section gets to take this particular trade, and we all make even $1,000. When we click our withdrawal will still come. The only difference would be maybe based on your own broker, mine might come faster, yours will come later. So that might be just the difference. But come on, I'm giving out all of this for free. All of this for free. When you join the group before the class will start, you will see all of what the course outline, or let's say the models, they're all already all out, already typed. So you see that what you have a lot of values to actually what gain. So please do well to what, if you've not subscribed to the channel, do well to subscribe to the channel. See you next time on the what in our next live section. And not like this live section, please do well to give me a like. cost nothing. Cost nothing. Please like this live section and see you next time. Do have a beautiful and a great week ahead. Thank you. Stay safe and God bless us all. All right.